Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System, looking to generate new clients or partners without cold calling, ad spend, or spamming. Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. I'm excited to have Jasmina as my guest today. Jasmina, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a quick bit about the company that you work for?
Sure. Thanks so much, Jim. First of all, thank you very much for having me on here. As we were just talking about, this is actually kind of cool doing these little podcasts here and there. It's been interesting during pandemics. But I'm Jasmina Muller, for those that may not know me. I'm the Vice President of Global Partnerships at Everbridge. And what I do here is basically drive the channel strategy. And the channel here, especially at Everbridge, it's been a huge passion for me. I've been here for a little over 2 years, supporting businesses throughout the pandemic, some of the supply chain challenges that we've had, the cyber attacks, and even many other crises that we'll get into. But I've worked with the channel indirectly and directly for about 26 years with companies like CenturyLink, who used to be Lumen, or excuse me, is Lumen, 8x8, both from a direct seller and as a channel leader. So that's who I am. If there's anything from an Everbridge perspective, we could, I guess, get into that at this point.
Sure. So just quickly, what for those that are not familiar with Everbridge, what does Everbridge do?
So we're a SaaS-based company with a critical event management solution that helps organizations and governments basically manage a full life cycle of a critical event. Critical event could mean anything from organizations protecting what they care about. That could be people, offices, supply chains, as I mentioned, their brand, their IT infrastructure, and so much more. The interesting thing is, before I came to Everbridge, I didn't know much about the CEM space. And now it's like, I know that companies like us offer enterprise software applications that fully automate and accelerate organizations' operational response. And basically, like I said, to any cyber, natural or man-made crises, what we call as critical events. And it literally is what our mission. It's in order to keep those people safe and their organizations running. What I found interesting is when I was learning about Everbridge, it's that our platform, it's the solution that leverages like tens and thousands of updated risk data elements. And it takes literally the organization to put together, like what we do is carefully organize that through a single pane of glass, combined with all the machine learning that we have, and it's all automated. So honestly, when people ask me, what's the best time? It's like right now is the best time to be here, especially now with everything that's going on in the other part of the world. I mean, there's a lot of information going out there to helping companies out there being safe as an organization itself. So
well, and you guys automate all that and make it easy.
Everything is automated versus what used to be in the past. You'd get that big thick folder and in there would be, if this happens, open up the tab and it tell you who to contact. It's like, take that out of there. People who have that folder need to catch up with automation and get that done with Everbridge.
Got it. So what's something interesting about yourself outside of work, Jasmina?
Let's see. Well, I enjoy running, hiking, working out. It's interesting, but probably since the pandemic, I've really concentrated more on my health. A lot of people out there, because now we're working from home a lot, you've got to have that work-life balance. And so I've decided that, instead of just constantly being in front of the Zoom camera, doing all your video calls, you also got to take a look at your mental health. And I literally decided that, I'm going to go back into the running, starting a little bit of the hiking, but really taking care of myself has been probably the priority as well. I've got 2 kids that I'm also trying to get into that mode. And I've got my husband, Air Force veteran. And then, like I said, my two kids, one in junior high school, and then my son who's in his second year of college. So a
That's
lot going on at home, but
sounds like it.
that's just
And
a little bit about me.
thank your husband for serving us.
I will. Thank you.
Appreciated.
Yep.
So Jasmina, what would you say, what do you contribute to success in business, and how can others learn from that to be more successful themselves?
I think a lot of that has to do with the people you are surrounded with, and around yourself. I've got so many individuals that I work with, both from a personal and professional level. For those that know me, I'm a huge advocate of women in leadership and growing in their careers. I do a lot of mentoring with a lot of women that are starting to grow in that perspective in their leadership roles. And so the great thing about it is learning that everything that I've kind of learned from the mentors over the years, I'm kind of going into that mode also with not just women growing in their careers, but also into the younger generation. As I mentioned, my 16-year-old daughter, God, these girls these days, it's completely different in what we used to have in high school compared to today. So I really do contribute my success with all the different mentors I've had over the years. The growth within the different companies I've been a part of. Every company that I've been a part of, you learn something new each time that you're there. You're faced with a lot of challenges, but I think my number one motto is just don't give up. Don't think just because you're now provided this challenge that you're not going to be able to complete it. In fact, I think the opposite. I'm always looking for that challenge so that once I've completed it, I'm on to the next one. That's what makes you grow.
Uh-huh.
Both professionally and personally. So with all the different individuals throughout my career, they have literally provided me that patience, that understanding of surround yourself with the smarter people, because you're never going to learn thinking that you can do it all by yourself.
Uh-huh. So do you have any tips on identifying and people to surround yourself with, or how to how how to get, figure that piece out? So obviously to surround yourself with great people, you need to know how to, I guess, identify
Connect with
great
them.
people. Is that what it starts with, or how do we start to improve in this area?
I think a lot of it has to do with, your career. It depends on what you're doing and who those people are around you. Um, in my professional career, I've had the luxury and the honor of being around so many different individuals within different realms of the business. For those that know me, I started off as a direct seller in the field, knocking on doors, cold calling on the phones. And I've had the pleasure of having different, and I should say multiple managers over a period of time. You start to realize who what's the word I want to use, who you kind of connect with, have that
Uh-huh.
connection, that you are on the same level. And I don't mean level of title. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, professionally. You build a relationship and a trust with that individual, that you start to see what they do and how you can either tweak yourself to kind of get into that same level of expertise. Or in some cases where I kind of tell my daughter, it's be yourself, but understand that the only way to learn and grow professionally and personally is to listen. If you sit there and listen more and talk less, you gain so much more knowledge. And there are so many individuals out there that I've really had the honor of being around, and then kind of following their footsteps in who are they aligned with in the industry. You start to follow that pattern of, okay, you've got leaders that have a following based off of who and where they're at. Then you start to kind of veer off and go, okay, what is your passion? And I've come over probably in the last 3 to 4 years, the passion of helping others grow within their career, specifically within the women in leadership, and
Uh-huh.
trying to get out there. I've had the pleasure of having probably 4 to 5 different women in different realms of their passion and how they've helped me. So it really comes down to, what are you looking for? What is your passion, and what type of individual person that you're looking to kind of capture in that moment.
Got it. So what else is important to know about this, or what other tips do you have for people?
I think the biggest thing, I know a lot of people have asked, and kind of what I've learned with different mentors is, how do you succeed in putting together, a proper team, for example? How do you succeed as a leader in becoming successful in what you do? Perfect example is I was brought over here to Everbridge about 2 years ago to start a channel program during a pandemic, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So, starting a whole channel program from the ground up is challenging, of course, but you take a look at what individuals have done this before, and you can't do it by yourself. You can't think, I'm going to do this on my own. You take a look at who are the other individuals that have gone through this with different companies, you reach out to them and you get feedback. I've done it quite a few times, and it's amazing to see how much of those individuals kind of tend to give you the right framework in don't give up. You're going to be faced with challenges. You're going to need to do what's right for the business. And I think the biggest thing that I feel that I've accomplished in the past couple of years is the team that I've built. This team is one hard, dedicated working team in getting to where we need to be. That along with the partners that we have, it's an amazing group of people. I mean, for those that understand the channel, it's literally building on trust and relationship,
Right.
making sure that you are an extension of that business with the partner. If you can get to that point and making sure that you're doing what's right, not just for your company, but for the partners itself and for your team, it's the best feeling ever. Knowing everything that's going on around the world with the pandemic and what have you, it still feels good knowing that you're going down that path with a bunch of different resources that kind of help you out as well.
Cool. So any final thoughts on this?
I think the biggest thing that I keep telling others, and I think I've stated it a couple times, is, when you find a passion of what you want to do on a professional level, stick with it. It's not going to be easy. Honestly, you take a look at things that you want to do. There's a process in place. You literally have to look at it as you're going to go for this challenge. There's going to be, the steps that you're going to have to go up. Sometimes you're going to have to go down. And as long as you have a good support system that is there to help you, you're going to make it. There's no reason to give up. Always look forward and understand that you're going to face the challenges. And as long as you go through it, you know what? The next challenge is going to be that much easier. So.
Got it. And Everbridge, who should be your partner and why should they be your partner?
It's a loaded question. I would say, honestly, you take a look at all the different partners that are out there. Currently within my organization, we've got two models. We've got the distribution model, and we've got what we used to be called as the master agent model, which is now the technology brokers. We take a look at all partners, every size, every shape, you name it. And we make sure not only do they fit within our program, but do they also fit, do we fit into their business infrastructure as well? It really comes down to taking the time to understand their client base and how that fits with us. And I know a lot of partners are like, the Everbridge platform, why wouldn't it fit with any customer? I mean, it's a critical event management platform. It's keeping businesses running and their employees safe. So to me, when I kind of talk to these partners, I said, look, if you want to differentiate your business, this is clearly it. You're always going in there selling network, security, telco, UCaaS, CCaaS, all of that. But take a look at another way to kind of get that foot in the door. This is it. This is not something, this is a niche market. This is definitely something a lot of customers are starting to realize. Over the course of time, our world is changing. There are so many more critical events happening since 9/11. We're that much more vigilant in doing what we need to do, and this is the way to go ahead and differentiate their business. So, bring it on, partners. Come on over, and we could go ahead and see what we can do to help you guys' clients out. as well as their own business, by the way.
Definitely. So help their clients and in turn help themselves with having
Exactly.
adding new revenue to their business.
Definitely. I mean, when you speak of revenue, you literally take a look at these partners have that relationship, that trust that they've built for so many years with their clients that 80% of the time that partner knows the client's business and infrastructure more so than the C-level. And what better way is that partner coming in and saying, look, we've done this for you over the last few years. Why not take a look at, the duty of care for your employees? What do you guys do currently today to make sure those employees are safe during a critical event? And go right into, having us join them on their discovery calls with their customers. It's the best thing. And we've had great feedback from those partners saying this is clearly a differentiator.
Got it. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, Jasmina, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
They can reach me at channelpartnerinfo@everbridge.com. And my entire team will be there to support them based off of what they need. It's a distribution that someone will be able to go ahead and follow up, and I'll be able to see that email. Or they can also reach me on my LinkedIn, and it's at Jasmina Muller, and that quite a few of you probably do know how to get to that. But those are the two ways they can definitely reach out to me.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today and sharing your wisdom and knowledge.
Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate it.
And until next time on the Profits of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. You're looking to generate leads or appointments without cold calling, ad spend, or spamming. Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com.
Thank you for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.